you guys haven't figured it out by now, I'm a pretty big fan of SuperMarioLogan. In the past, I've said that he's my favorite YouTuber, and while I'm not 100% sure that that still applies today, he's definitely up there. He's made so many great videos in the past, and a couple of duds. His fan base now is kind of split down the middle, really. There's a ton of people who love and worship everything he does. There's a ton of people who get mad at all the new stuff, mainly because of the overuse of Chef Peepee, Bowser Jr., and Bowser, which I can understand. And then there's people in the middle who can really see both the good and the bad. Not saying Logan's gone completely downhill, but not saying everything he does is perfect either. And that's what I intend to do today. Today, I bring you two lists, showcasing both the best and the worst that Logan has to offer. Here, we're talking about the best. And there are a couple rules first. For starters, the video obviously has to be on his main channel. Second, I'm not including any music videos because they kind of don't fit in with the rest of them. And the third rule is, if I'm including a video from a series, I'm only including one video from that series. And that's all I've got to say, really. So, with all that out of the way, let the list begin. One last thing I'd like to say before I start, though, is the fact that this was not an easy video to make. Don't get me wrong, picking out which 20 of SML's videos were my favorite wasn't the hard part. The hard part was ranking them to see which ones I liked better than the others. So don't take the order too seriously this time. www.supermariologan.com. Log on. The Super Mario Logan Valentines Day special was actually pretty funny. It was essentially showed all the different romance plots of all the different characters we had. By far my favorites were Woody and Shrek's plots. Woody celebrating his shrimpos and Shrek dating both his cheesecake and his toilet. Overall, it was pretty funny, and I don't really have much more to say about it, though. Toad's Mistake 3. Now, why did I put this above the other two Toad's Mistake videos? Mainly because of the fact that Toad deserves it in this one. Unlike the other two when it was some simple action that Toad had pretty much no indication could go terribly, here, he knows Shrek loves cheesecake and he ate all of it, and it was completely his fault. My favorite part of the video has gotta be that several minute long of both really funny and really suspenseful conversation between Toad and Shrek. Shrek getting kinda mad about it, but the thing is, he has the knife out. You know he's going to snap and kill Toad. You just don't know when he's going to do it. Then the epic fight scene that we all knew it was going to happen ensues, and it's really fun to watch, with Shrek throwing his cheesecake at Toad just barely hitting him and knocking him over, to Shrek crapping on Toad. That might sound gross, but we never get to see the poop that Toad gets forced into, which makes it funny instead of disgusting. Then Toad makes the stupid mistake of hiding in the blender, and Logan does the ultimate shocker.
Well, I guess I'll never find Toad. I don't know where he could be. I guess Toad wouldn't mind if I just turned on the blender. Oh.
Yeah, bet you weren't expecting that. Also, since this video came out right after Luigi's Mansion Episode 6, this was really satisfying to see. Overall, while I think the action in Toad's Mistake 2 was actually a lot better than it was here, everything else here really makes up for it and makes this my favorite of the Toad's Mistake trilogy. www.supermariologan.com. Okay, now I'm gonna be upfront with you guys. The Devil is my new favorite Super Mario Logan character. Now, in real life, I'm not a big fan of the Devil, you know, being the supreme being and all evil and all, but in Super Mario Logan, he is a really funny character. Essentially being sort of a pathetic evil, but really funny at the same time, thinking he's so evil. Probably my favorite comedic portrayal of the Devil out there, second place going to Nostalgia Critic's version. But no matter what video this guy is in, he always manages to put a smile on my face. The reason I chose this video is because it's really the only good video that the Devil's appeared in. Granted, I liked his segments in the other videos he was in, but the rest of those videos were terrible. The whole video is about Bowser trying to become evil again and summoning the Devil to help him do so. They go around doing very petty evils, such as turning a glass of water upside down, or telling a guy that his child support is due when really it isn't. In the end, the Devil gives Bowser the ultimate weapon of evil, thumbtacks, which you actually see him use in later videos. The devil, not Bowser.
www.SuperMarioLogan.com.
This episode doesn't have a very complicated plot. Well, what did you expect? It is an SML short. Also, it is my favorite of the SML shorts. Black Yoshi's speaker breaks, so he decides to steal a new one. That's pretty much this whole thing. And it's really entertaining with Black Yoshi's gangster attitude and Lavelle's over-the-top acting. Then he proceeds to blow the roof off the place while Shrek is sleeping, driving him crazy. Overall, this is probably my favorite SML short, although How Black Yoshi Saved Christmas would probably be a close second.
www.SuperMarioLogan.com.
Around this point in time, there were a ton of videos of Chef Peepee making food. So what sets this one apart from the rest? Easy. Chris the Cucumber. Chris is a character who wants to help out the kids at home with their nutritional facts. What's the big problem? All his facts are either A, irrelevant, B, obvious, or C, completely untrue. Seriously, just take a look at this.
Interesting fact. Did you know that knives are pointy? Be safe.
Of course they're pointy. You got the cut stuff with it. It's not a spoon.
Bonus fact. Did you know that Thomas Edison made knives?
No, he didn't. He made the light bulb, you silly goose. Stop coming in my kitchen.
Chris the Cucumber is an example of one character turning a video that otherwise would have been completely forgettable into something really funny and memorable.
www.SuperMarioLogan.com.
Now for the most recent video on this countdown, Wario and Waluigi's Scam. This video is one with a simple plot, but really funny at the same time. It also feels kind of similar to SMG4's series, The Wacky Wario Bros. The plot of this video is that Wario and Waluigi want to scam a ton of money out of Mario under the guise of a charity organization.
We're from Feed the Children Foundation.
Yeah, feed the children.
The children need to eat your money.
Yeah, they're starving. Feed those bills.
I also think Waluigi is actually a really funny character and kind of a breath of fresh air. What do I mean by this? Simple. You see, every character that's been voiced by Logan himself, aside from Mario and Luigi, has really annoyed me. Pixie Goblin, Bowser Jr., I don't like either of them. Maybe there's some other that he voices that I don't know about. But overall, I can definitely say Waluigi is my favorite character voiced by Logan. And him and Waluigi are a pretty funny addition to the SML roster.
www.SuperMarioLogan.com.
Now, I can see why a lot of people would hate this episode, and to be perfectly honest, I don't blame them. Basically, in this video, Black Yoshi gets a job babysitting Bowser Jr., and he is a terrible babysitter, doing things to using his Glock for handicapped and breaking his dinosaurs, to threatening to break out the Glock again during trains, to tying Jr. up for messing him up on Call of Duty. The reason I find this video funny instead of mean-spirited is, remember, this is Bowser Jr. we're talking about. I freaking hate this spoiled brat. He is one of my least favorite Super Mario Logan characters, and definitely my least favorite main character of Super Mario Logan. He is so annoying, so it's so satisfying to see all this stuff finally happening. That's not to say I don't enjoy this video for revenge factor alone. This episode does have some pretty good jokes in it. My personal favorite has got to be the Dr. Seymour Jr. wants to play doctor with Black Yoshi and pretend that Black Yoshi got shot and he had to extract the bullet. So Black Yoshi shoots Toad and forces Jr. to extract the bullet.
www.SuperMarioLogan.com.
I swear, how come this and Toad Away are the only two Bowser infomercials? This is one use for Bowser that I can actually get behind. His over-the-top energy and just completely crazy antics work perfect for these infomercials. And the Bowser Juice infomercial is really good. To tell you guys the truth, I'm a sucker for fake joke commercials, and this video is a pretty good one. One thing I did find kind of weird about this video is the revelation of how Bowser Juice is made. It was implied throughout the video, but it was just kind of weird. By far my favorite part of the video, though, is that over-the-top up scene at the end with Lavelle drinking the Bowser Juice, and it's supposed to be the happy-go-lucky outro, but him just constantly spitting it out, and the music there is actually pretty catchy. and him just acting all over the top happy. And the lyrics, though, if you listen to them, are actually pretty messed up in a pretty hilarious way.
Drinking Bowser's juice gives you super energy. If you don't drink it, then I'll watch you while you sleep. Then kidnap your kids, and then force them to drink my juice. If you don't like it, I'll lace your food with drugs.
It's even more funny, messed up, and catchy all at the same time than Little Inferno.
www.SuperMarioLogan.com.
Toad is Cool was a big step for Logan. It transitioned Toad from being everyone's personal punching bag to a character with an actual personality, and the video itself was pretty good too. After Black Yoshi beats the crap out of him, Shrek forces Toad to eat his crap, and then Shrek throws Toad out of the house. Toad is left as a distraught, crying mess. Toad then meets underground rapper Ray Cheesy, who at first is kind of a bit of a jerk to Toad, but then it sees Toad crying and comes back and is just wondering why he's crying. And as it turns out, Ray Cheesy wants a recording studio so he can make his rap album to become a rapper. So Toad agrees to let Ray do it if he'd be his friend. I can't help but think this was based off of real life events, because in Logan's draw On My Life, didn't he say that Lavelle wanted to use Logan's computer equipment to record a rap album? So yeah, essentially Logan wanted a friend to be in his videos, and Lavelle wanted a recording studio, paralleling the events that happened right here. Kind of funny. Toad then comes back and confronts Black Yoshi and Shrek with his own music video that he made with Ray Cheesy called Toad is Cool, where they both rap about Toad being cool, I guess, and in hopes of impressing Black Yoshi, and Black Yoshi isn't exactly impressed. So much so that Black Yoshi and Shrek make their own music video called Toad Sucks, where they pretty much rap about how awesome they are and how much Toad isn't. Toad then's not impressed and goes away to get revenge and become a famous rapper, which contributes to his big rap personality in the later videos, and he actually has 2 albums that are on iTunes. First one, Milk and Cookies, was good, but Bedbugs I didn't find all that great.
www.SuperMarioLogan.com.
I'm just gonna go out and say it, Charlie and Friends is an overused gimmick. I mean, at first it was funny, the whole thing about, Bowser enjoying this kind of show, but it got driven into the ground, because it got used in pretty much every single video with Bowser in it, and it just got really old really fast. Thank goodness Bowser's video game managed to not only be really creative, but also revitalize this old gimmick. You see, this video, aside from Charlie being a kid's character, paints a more sinister side to him. I mean, check out the way he advertises his game.
But you'll love even more playing Charlie and Friends the video game! Look! It has me in the game! You can play as me, you can drive cars! Oh, it is rated M! For, don't tell your mom you're buying this, just take her credit card or something. It's rated M, it has blood and gore and intense violence, strong language, and mature humor, nudity, strong sexual content, use of drugs and alcohol, but who cares? Just make sure you buy it! Get your credit card, swipe it! You'll be cool if you're playing Charlie and Friends the video game! Yeah!
The video really starts to get going once Bowser starts playing the game, and that's where the hilarity ensues. The game is hilarious, from all the different options that you're given to just a lot of quotes that Charlie has. I mean, a lot of these things are things you wouldn't expect a kids show character to be saying. And overall, it's really funny. Not to mention, I've got to give this video credit from an editing standpoint. I mean, can you imagine how hard it would be to edit something like this? I mean, I make countdowns, but even I couldn't imagine doing something like this. Have to plan up all the film stuff with the stuff you're going to edit. It must have been really hard. Also, I don't know if this was intentional or not, but it's kind of good satire in the game industry. Charlie at the beginning of the video said that the game was rated M for all those reasons, yet at the end, Bowser Jr. beat it and says that the game was like for 5-year-olds. If that doesn't tell you something about the current game market, I don't know what will. Also, I am curious as to how you would beat a game like Charlie and Friends the game.
www.SuperMarioLogan.com.
The Again, at the time, there were a lot of videos being uploaded that was just Chef Peepee making food for Bowser, so I like that Logan decided to change up the formula and have Bowser have to fend for himself while Chef Peepee's visiting his family in Mexico. This video is essentially one hilarious attempt after another of Bowser trying to make his own meal and failing miserably. And hilariously. He screws up cereal by getting the wrong materials, he puts a donut in the microwave and it somehow turns it into toast, and then he tries to order Pizza Hut and he thinks he's got pizza, but it turns out that it was all a scam. Eventually Bowser pulls out all the stops and has Koopa drive him to Wendy's so he can finally get a meal, and there's some pretty funny dialogue in the car.
Here.
Hurry up!
It says stop, though.
I don't care!
It says I gotta stop.
Do you see police? No!
Yeah.
That means go!
I remember a while ago I heard someone saying that this video sucked because it was essentially punishing Bowser the one time that he didn't deserve it, but to be perfectly honest, I kinda disagree. I mean, Bowser isn't really suffering that much here. The worst that's happening to him is that he isn't getting a meal. All the failed attempts aren't really painful or cringeworthy, they're just funny. And in the end, he does end up getting a meal from Wendy's, so I really don't see the problem here.
www.SuperMarioLogan.com.
This is probably the entry I'm most unsure of. I mean, with 24 episodes under its belt, Mario and Luigi's Stupid and Dumb Adventures wasn't exactly the easiest series to pick an episode from. But I chose Season 3, Episode 1 because it's the reverse world and I really think it's pretty funny. Basically, Mario is sent to an alternate universe where everything is reversed. And this actually leads to some pretty creative scenarios. Chef Peepee is the boss of Bowser. Chef Peepee also watches Harley and Friends, which is acted out by Logan instead of Lavelle. Toad now has a deep voice and sings country music instead of rap music. Black Yoshi's now White Yoshi and plays Animal Crossing on the Wii instead of Call of Duty on the PS3. Shrek now takes peas, eats sweet peas, and calls Mario Camel instead of taking craps, eating cheesecake, and calling Mario Donkey. And probably the most dramatic difference of all, Mama Luigi is now a genius and is still alive. What I like about this video is just how it always catches you off guard. Like, you know they're going to make the characters different, but you don't know what they're going to do in order to do it. This episode was really good and really left me wanting more from Season 3, except for when Episode 2 turned out to be bad. Oh, hope Season 3, Episode 3 will be good.
www.SuperMarioLogan.com.
This video is the reason why I like Shrek. Okay, you know, aside from his appearances in other videos, but this is pretty much his best performance. Essentially, you'd think a video about one character taking a crap for 10 minutes would be really boring. But you'd be wrong. You see, this thing is hilarious with Shrek's antics, and heck, him even paying for karma after he had been picking on Mario earlier to come get his Coke, and it is just so funny throughout the whole thing, whether it's him calling for Mario to get him toilet paper, or finally finding toilet paper but ignoring it when he finds cheesecake, and just a ton of things, and even the fact that he wins Guinness World Records at the end of it for largest crap. Overall, this video, even when I first saw it, I thought it was going to be lame, but no, it was hilarious. And yeah, that's really all I have to say about it. It is a really funny video.
www.SuperMarioLogan.com.
Well, this video had an interesting concept, and I think it's actually the last time in the series, aside from Evil Bowser, where Bowser had actually tried to do something evil. Basically, he wanted to invite Mario over for a dinner date, and then poison his food so he'd die. An interesting thing about this video is that it's the first time where Toad's gangster personality started to kick in. Sure, it got annoying eventually, but right here it's actually really funny.
But yeah, you know, I was just cruising down the highway, and then I noticed in your mailbox you had some there's a paper, dog.
Speak English. What are you saying?
You have a letter, homie.
A letter? Give me that.
Yeah.
What are you doing checking my mail?
You know I be creeping and stuff like that.
Heck, this episode even has a pretty funny scene with Chef Peepee cooking food. It's just kind of weird to say, but isn't it kind of weird how we never really get to see that anymore in Super Mario Logan's videos? Because, you know, Chef Peepee is a chef, yet when's the last time we've seen him cook? Anyway, so then there's Bowser's scene where he talks to Mario by candlelight, which is also pretty funny. Also, I love the moment when Bowser finds out that Mario's not going to eat salsa and just how crazy he gets. Also, one thing I think is actually kind of interesting is the video Mario's wig is also pretty similar to this one, and I like it about the same. The reason it's not here is because I didn't want to put two videos that are pretty much exactly the same. That's why How Black Yoshi Saved Christmas isn't here either.
www.SuperMarioLogan.com.
The bird was a pretty big video at the time for Super Mario Logan. Basically, how it starts off is Woody is going through the wild bushes of Africa on another shrimp hunting mission and catches Skittles, which he refers to as an African fruit loop bird. And then he goes over to try to kill it so he can eat it, but then he finds that he can't kill it and instead decides, instead of killing it, he's just going to keep it as a pet. Things don't go over too well. After Woody puts Skittles in Shrek's room, Skittles ends up in an inconvenient spot where he ends up interrupting Shrek's personal time with his cheesecake. When Black Yoshi comes in, Skittles starts attacking him, so then Shrek gets Black Yoshi's Glock and tries to shoot the bird in order to save Black Yoshi. However, since he's never fired a Glock before, he doesn't exactly do a pretty good job of it, and ends up hitting Black Yoshi. Once he finds out that Skittles has been misbehaving, Woody makes the mistake of putting him in the bathroom. You know, Woody, you could just put him in the family room or your room. You know, a place where it won't bother Shrek. Shrek then has to go to the bathroom, and when he finds out Skittles is in there, he goes in there and throws him out. Then once Black Yoshi is recovering, putting his green band-aid over the bullet hole where Shrek shot him, the bird comes into his room and starts messing with his controller and messing up his game of Call of Duty. Then, as the final nail in the coffin, Skittles finds Shrek's McDonald's, and while Shrek is gone, Skittles just comes over and devours it. Eventually, Shrek's had it, and he comes in to find Black Yoshi, and he says that he wants to kill the bird. Black Yoshi, being a pretty violent guy, obliges to it, and they both decide in the morning they're going to kill the bird. In the morning, Shrek gets a knife and Black Yoshi gets his Glock, and they both set out to kill the bird. They trap Skittles in a plastic bag, and then Shrek begins taking out his anger on Skittles by stabbing him. Then once that happens, Shrek drops the bag by the side of the house, and Black Yoshi shoots the bird a bunch of times. Shrek decides to unwind after killing the bird by watching some TV, but when he turns it on, it turns out that the bird was actually escaped from a zoo, and it was worth $20 million. So yeah, both Shrek and Black Yoshi ended up screwing themselves out of a ton of money.
www.SuperMarioLogan.com.
This video needs to be remade. Or, not exactly remade, but something similar made. Pretty much, Mario just wants to know as all his friends eat their Oreos, and they all do it in over-the-top hilarious ways. All that would have to be done is give each character the same task and have each of them solve it in a hilarious, creative way, and over-the-top way too. Shrek's way he eats an Oreo is pretty funny. Basically, he replaces the white filling with his own special ogre filling, and then shoves the Oreo in cheesecake. Then Woody shows up, despite the fact Mario had called Black Yoshi in, and shows how he eats an Oreo. He puts a shrimpo on it, and then, instead of just putting a shrimpo on it, he doesn't just stop there. He goes out and gets his beer, and then pours it on there. Then Chihuahua comes in, God, remember when he was still in the videos? And decides to turn the Oreos into an Oreo burrito. Because he's Mexican, I guess? And yeah, pretty much just turns the Oreos into a burrito. Black Yoshi's is probably craziest of all. He then scoops out some of the Kool-Aid. Yes, he scoops out some grape Kool-Aid, then puts it on his Oreo, then he scoops up the Oreo, and then puts it into a glass of water. Then, He puts in a Glock bullet to give it the extra bang that he wants, I guess. And then he just mixes it up, crumbles up the cookie, and turns it into a drink. And by this point, Mario's had it.
Black Yoshi, that's just disgusting. I thought you were gonna be creative and like actually eat an Oreo good, not make it into a drink.
Folk, do you know anyone else that puts a bullet up in their drink?
No, you're the only one who did that.
Exactly.
I mean,
see, I am creative.
And Woody poured beer all over his and I put a shrimp on it. And,
Good man.
And
Good man right there. He's creative too.
And Shrek shoved it in cheesecake.
Good man. You know, that fat boy like cheesecake.
Mario gets frustrated since none of his friends eat an Oreo normal, and wow, Tony, God, remember when Tony was in the videos? Comes up and asks Mario if so he can show him how he eats his Oreo. But Mario doesn't want to hear it. After all the crazy Oreo eating tactics he saw today, he knew that Tony, the biggest idiot in the series, would have the craziest of them all. But as it turns out, Tony's was the most normal of all. All he does is put it in his mouth.
www.SuperMarioLogan.com.
At one point fairly recently, Logan uploaded 3 videos in a row involving Junior, Joseph, and Cody. The Junior, Joseph, and Cody trilogy, as I like to call it, wasn't a very impressive trilogy. I mean, Junior's playtime was kinda creepy, and Bowser Jr.'s pool party was kinda boring. But Bowser Jr.'s game night, on the other hand, was really good. Basically, this video, the Junior, Joseph, and Cody play 3 different games: Jenga, Monopoly, and Operation. I'll fully admit, when they're playing Jenga, it's not all that great, but once Monopoly starts up, the video really gets going. Heck, during the Monopoly thing, they actually have a lot of jokes at Chef Peepee's expense that don't seem needlessly cruel or annoying like they usually do. Heck, there was even a pretty funny line about Chef Peepee's parents getting divorced over Monopoly, and not because of the fact that his father was a drunken, washed-up pirate car salesman, like we've seen in other videos. But the thing I really like about this video is Cody. He really steals the show in this video. For example, in Monopoly, he essentially cheats his way to the top by saying that Ken was the banker and gave him a bunch of stuff, and heck, even at one point when he wanted to buy something, he pulled out a bunch of stock charts to make sure to see if it was a good investment. And when they're playing Operation, Cody panics because he thinks he's killed the guy he's operating on, even though it's just a board game. Overall, this video was pretty funny.
www.SuperMarioLogan.com.
I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. Mario and Bowser's Stupid and Crazy Adventure is my favorite SML series. I mean, it's got everything. It's got a pretty interesting story. It's got Mario and Bowser as a great duo, Mario being the perfect straight man to go off of Bowser's insanity, and Bowser being his funny, dumb self, not his cruel, annoying self. And episode 3 made me laugh so hard. Basically, the whole plot of this episode is that Mario and Bowser need information out of Sonic, so they begin to torture him. Just the way they torture him is done in an incredibly funny way. Basically, since in this series Sonic is British for some reason, all their torture methods involve some sort of British stereotype. Their first torture method is pouring a good cup of tea down the drain. Their next torture method involves taking a picture of the Queen and crumpling it up right in front of him. For the last and most brutal torture method, they decide to brush his teeth, but realizing that would be too cruel, they instead just decide to waterboard him until they gives them answers. Normally an episode about torturing someone would come off as really creepy, but it's just done so hilariously here you can't help but laugh.
www.SuperMarioLogan.com.
This next video is pure chaos. It's really enjoyable to watch, but sadly got an pretty underwhelming sequel, but I don't think I could do this video justice. I'll just show it to you myself.
Dude, I got the Doritos!
Oh.
We all set now.
Yay, we had the Doritos. The Super Bowl's about to start, so good thing you got the Doritos.
Alright, donkey, everybody, I call first dibs on Dorito chips. Just setting things straight right now. Ooh, good. Can't wait to have me some Dorito chips. Oh. Dorito Toads? Bug Toad? I thought I nuked you!
Wait, he ate all the Doritos? Wait, oh my god.
Yeah, sorry guys, I ate all the Doritos. They just tasted so good.
Fo, you ate all my Doritos?
Yeah, Toad, why'd you eat all the Doritos? The Doritos
Man,
are what
I'll
make
kill
it.
you.
The Doritos are what make Super Bowl the Super Bowl. I can't believe you ate all the Doritos.
Wait. So Toad ate all Doritos?
Yes, did we just tell you that?
Oh, you ate all Doritos? I'm gonna choke you, little pig. Die, little pig. Eat my Doritos.
I'm sorry,
You
Shrek.
little pig.
I'm
I
sorry.
should eat you and get all you fat.
Shrek, don't eat him. We need to kill him. He ate all our Doritos. It's gonna be the worst Super Bowl ever, thanks to Toad.
Shut up, you little pig. I'm gonna choke you to death. Wait, hold up, folks. Let me go shut the door so they don't hear the screams. These are my Doritos, folks.
You ate my Dorito chips and you probably ate my cheesecake too.
www.supermariologan.com.
Remember when I said that Mario and Bowser's Stupid and Crazy Adventures was my favorite SML series? Well, you probably do because it was the last entry, but anyway, the point is, Summer School is probably my second favorite. And episode 3 does a pretty good job of exemplifying what made it so good. It gives all the characters enough screen time, has a lot of different funny jokes, and is overall really enjoyable to watch. Now that I think about it, this video does kind of feel like the remake of Have to Eat an Oreo, but instead of how they eat their Oreo, here the different characters bring in stuff for show and tell, and all the different Jackie Chu students bring in stuff with different jokes. Cody has a ton of medications because, you know, he's a nerd and he just has medications for all his medical disorders. Cecilia brings in a taco and it shows off her broken English. Junior brings Chef Peepee in and tries to make himself look cool by making Chef Peepee look pathetic, but Chef Peepee turns it around and makes Junior look like a moron. Black Yoshi, who I swear I have no clue why he's in summer school to begin with, seriously, isn't he an adult? Brings in Call of Duty and complains about how he got banned and tells everyone his gamer tag. It's also implied that Joseph is the one who got Black Yoshi banned. Then Pixie Goblin brings in his thing, which is a sword, but he ends up getting arrested for it because you're not allowed to bring weapons to school, and ends up having to spend round 2 with Bubbles. Chris the Cucumber shows up with his incorrect fact of the day. Joseph brings in his cell phone, which is broken, but Jackie Chu says his kids can fix it in the sweatshop. And Toad gets in trouble because of his whole super inappropriate music video. What makes this video work so well is just how entertaining it is, how it gives each character their own chance to shine. It's funny, and all the other characters who aren't showing and telling are still really funny, especially Jackie Chu. So yeah, that's my favorite Super Mario Logan video. Be sure to leave a comment telling me what your favorite Super Mario Logan videos are. And don't forget to check out my other countdown about Super Mario Logan that's going up today as well.